Hello again, and more about prepositions. This time, a quick video to go over some common errors which occur with preposition usage. Again, as there are so many prepositions, I can't go over every single error with preposition use, but here are a few more common ones. A mistake that is commonly made is an error between prepositions of movement and prepositions of place. For example, they went in London for a conference. We did say that you could use in for countries or cities, but when we are talking about movement, we will use to show a direction. Thus, we use it with active verbs such as travel, go, move, drive, walk, fly, run, etc. In, we will use for stative verbs such as be, live, like, etc. Arrive, for some strange reason, is an active verb, but it is an exception. So you cannot say, I arrived to YVR yesterday. The correct sentence would use a preposition of place, not a preposition of movement. I arrived at, an airport is a particular point, YVR, yesterday. I also mentioned the issue with for and since in the last video, but I want to talk about it again because it's a common issue. Remember that these are both prepositions of time, but for we use for a duration, a period or length of time, and since we use for the point at which an action begins. For example, he's been working since 8 a.m. Adrian has lived in the Philippines for 6 years. Now we get to a bit of an aggravating aspect of prepositions of time and place, those times when a preposition is not necessary at all. For example, I went home. He cycled downtown. We moved last year. Frustrating, right? No prepositions for those expressions. So here is a list of words which do not take a preposition in front of them. Last, next, each, every, outside, inside, downtown, and home. Speaking of confusing prepositions, how about these two? Toward versus towards. No difference. They are both prepositions of movement which mean the same thing, in the direction of. The difference is that toward is used more in North America and towards more in the UK and Australia. Another confusing pair that does have a difference in meaning, beside, a preposition of place which means right next to, and besides, which means in addition to. The office is beside the SkyTrain station. Besides being a good speaker, he is also a hard worker. Now let's talk about a bit of a tricky topic, transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are verbs which take direct objects after them, while intransitive verbs cannot. We therefore use prepositions with intransitive verbs. For example, will wait you. Wait is intransitive. We cannot put a direct object there. We need a preposition. Will wait for you. So, of course, the other mistake writers make is to include a preposition when it's not needed because the verb is transitive, so it needs a direct object. He married with a doctor. Wrong. He married a doctor. Please answer to the phone. Wrong. Please answer the phone. And there are also some verbs which can be transitive and intransitive, although the meaning of the verb might change. I asked my boss. I asked him a question. I asked for my boss. I asked someone to go and get my boss. If you are not sure if the verb you are using is transitive or intransitive, check the dictionary and it will list transitive verb or intransitive verb above the definition. I'm just going to cover one last thing, even though there are countless other mistakes out there. Some verbs, especially when it has to do with people, may take many prepositions, but each preposition might alter the meaning. This can be a little confusing. Let's look at some examples. We'll use shout. He shouted to Keiko. He called out to her. He shouted at Keiko. He was angry and raised his voice at this person. He shouted for Keiko. He shouted at someone to go get Keiko. He shouted with Keiko. They both shouted together. There's particularly a big difference, which students get confused about, with to and at. Remember that to is a direction. At means directly at the person. Let's look at another example. Are you laughing at me? Making a joke about me? No, I'm laughing with you. No, we are laughing together. You threw the pen at me. Throw the pen in my direction with the intention to hit me. No, I threw it to you. Throw the pen in my direction with the intention for me to catch it. And that's it for now. As I said, there may be more errors, but here are some common ones that you can look out for and think about when writing or speaking. Thanks for listening.